This is the plaintiff, Chemo Lee. He says he's a bail bondsman, and when the defendant's brother was arrested, she signed a bond for him. When the defendant's brother skipped out on his court date, he had to pay the court $2,000. The defendant's financially responsible for the $2,000 she refuses to pay him, and he's suing. This is the defendant, Sandra. She says she told the plaintiff her brother moved back to Ohio and told him where he was hiding. The plaintiff is a bail bondsman. It's his job to go to Ohio to get her brother and bring him to the courthouse so he can get his money back. That's his job, not hers. That's why she owes him nothing. She's accused of bailing on a bond.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff is a bail bondsman. The defendant's brother was arrested, and the defendant signed a bond for him. Now, the defendant's brother skipped out on the court date, and now he's going after her. She says it's his job to wrangle her brother. It's the case of he's skipping, now you're tripping.
Chemo Lee.
Yes, ma'am.
On behalf of Kahuna Bail Bonds, you're the owner, are suing Sandra, you've asked us not to mention your last name, for $2,000 because a bond that she signed for was forfeited. What happened?
Well, I got her brother out of jail.
What was your brother in jail for?
3 misdemeanors, domestic dispute.
Okay, and then what happens?
So
she signs for it?
She co-signed for him, yes, ma'am.
She co-signs for him. And what does she sign? I promise to pay you?
Well, it's a paperwork.
Or she gives you collateral?
No collateral was taken. It's paperwork that she has to fill out with her information, personal information, Social Security, addresses, work, stuff like that.
Okay.
On the back of each one of the papers, it goes through saying if he's not, does it show that she's held responsible?
May I see that?
Yes, ma'am.
So your brother calls you from jail and says, I'm in jail
Yes.
because I've been arrested on a bunch of domestic violence charges. You say they're all misdemeanors. Were they all misdemeanors?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you find him as a bondsman? Had you used him before, or had you opened the phone book? What?
My brother provided me with his number, I guess.
Oh, had you bonded the brother out before?
No, ma'am. It
All
could
right,
be
so
somebody.
anyway, jailhouse chatter,
Yeah.
and you call him.
I call
and
him.
what is it you sign?
This is the document that I signed.
Okay, and what does the document say is going to happen when your brother fails to appear to court, which apparently happened? Where's your brother?
Still in Ohio at my
Why did your brother not go to court?
He lost his job, and he had an opportunity for another job by a friend in Ohio, so he returned back to Ohio.
Oh, why didn't he take care of his court case before doing that?
I don't know. I tried to get him to come back down there and take care of his court case, explain to him that they were just misdemeanors, and he just won't do it.
Does that sound like your brother to you?
Kind of, yeah.
So why did you co-sign a bond for him?
Because he was trying to change his life, and
Not so much. Is he with the woman who pressed the charges against him?
well, it was actually my spouse that pressed the charges on him. They got into an
Your
argument.
spouse?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why you're calling a bondsman. So are you still with your spouse?
At the time, we did separate for like 8 months, but then, yeah, we ended up getting back together.
So that's weird. And your spouse won't drop the charges, or the DA won't allow your spouse to drop the charges?
They won't allow him to drop the charges.
Right. Because you'd love for him to drop the charges so that he would then stop pursuing you.
Right.
Right. So what happens? He doesn't show up for court, and court says, gimme, gimme.
Well, he actually was going for a couple court dates. Then he actually.
Yeah, but you got to go for all of them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, right.
Then he didn't show, so I got the bond forfeiture, which is the yellow piece of paper you have there, saying I have 5 months to have him either get another
They
court
give
date.
you 5 months?
150
Wow.
days, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You have 3 options. Either he files a motion to get another court date, which didn't happen, turn himself in and get another court date, which doesn't happen, and then either I can get him and turn him back in, or he gets picked up by the cops, which didn't happen either because he's in Ohio.
Right.
So after the 5 months, I had to pay the bond forfeiture.
So you paid it?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see that you paid it?
It's in that paperwork you have.
Okay.
His package.
So what do you think is going to happen here, and why? You think you shouldn't have to pay him even though you promised you would if this happened. This is your one job in this contract you signed. Your job is to pay $2,000 if your brother doesn't show up. That's the only job you have. And you feel you shouldn't have to pay it. Why?
Because I provided him with the whereabouts of my brother, and he never He showed up at my house one night and stated that he had a warrant to search my house. He said that he had his coworker with him. He said that I could do it either the easy way or
You had a warrant to search her house.
No,
That's what he
that
stated.
forfeiture gives me the ability to go to search the house.
For real?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no idea. But that sounds kind of fishy because, I don't think, you're supposed to be looking for him and you can look for him, but I don't think you have, without permission, the authority to search somebody's house for him. In any event, it doesn't matter because you didn't find him and you didn't find anything else that you took and there's nothing else to suppress and none of that matters. The guy's in Ohio and you think that he should spend $3,000, $4,000 going to Ohio instead of getting $2,000 from you and calling it a day. Why? Who would ever do that? What if he was in Paris? You should spend $10,000 getting her brother in Paris. I told you he was in Paris. Go to Paris. Are you out of your mind? This is exactly what you're supposed to be doing under the agreement.
Okay, so the defendant saying that it's the bail bondsman's job to find her brother. Are you buying that?
I'm not buying that at all.
Why?
It's not, he put up the money, he should take care of his brother.
No, she.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, but here's the thing. The bail bondsman, they can, if they can locate the guy, does he have any duty to say, okay, we're going to wrangle him, I'm going to tell the court?
Yes, he does, because it's his job to find the defendant that's...
The defendant's brother.
Yeah, the defendant's brother that's skipping out on the bail.
Is it the bail bondsman's job to find that?
Isn't that what they hire Dog, the bounty hunter, for? Like the bail bondsman go out and...
If Dog the bounty hunter has to be responsible for every single person who skips out, he is a busy man going inside the courtroom.
Why are we here?
Your Honor, this is my first time ever signing for a bond.
Yeah, it should be your last.
And
most of us know not to do that.
It will be my last.
Unless you're ready to let go of the money and, unless it's like the father of your children or something. But tell your brother he owes you $2,000 because you're going to owe him $2,000. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, in a fairly cut and dry case, the plaintiff wins. The defendant is ordered to pay the $2,000 bond for your brother. Right. Your brother's going to be able to watch this in Ohio or wherever he is. You think he'll pay you?
No, probably not. Just like he won't come down and go back to court.
Well, coming back and going to go to court's one thing, but paying his sister, that's something else. You don't think he'll pay you back?
No, I already tried to get the money out of him.
And no luck, huh?
No luck.
So what happens now?
I guess I have to pay him.
No kidding. That's for sure. How are you going to treat your brother from this point on?
Probably won't talk to him for a while.
All right. Sorry about that. You learned a valuable lesson, though, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you sure did. All right. Mr. Lee?
Yes, sir.
Does this happen very often?
That's actually my first one I've had to do.
First one?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been a bail bondsman?
A little over 3 years.
Well, I guess you're pretty lucky then. Very good.
I try to weed out the good and the bad ones, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay. I think we all learned a little bit about the bail bond business. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, well, look, it's kind of ridiculous to think that it's the bail bondsman's job to go out and find the person who skipped out. The bail bondsman could just keep the money because it's forfeited. And this is a cautionary tale that if you bail somebody out and you put your name on that, you're responsible for that money if they skip out.